Susan Boyle is one of the biggest stars in the world.
4 years, 5 albums, 30 countries. It's a lot to pack in.
The woman who became an overnight sensation on Britain's Got Talent and went on to sell over 20 million records. But unlike other top recording artists, she's never been able to go on tour with a live solo show.
Susan has been pushing me to go out and play shows, but I've never been entirely confident that she was going to be able to carry it off.
She has suffered from debilitating anxiety attacks all her life. But a recent medical diagnosis has changed everything.
I knew it was different. I didn't really know what was wrong with myself.
The common myth was that she'd been starved of oxygen at birth and that had led to her being brain damaged. None of those are the case.
And now Susan is ready to take on the challenge of performing live with a band for the very first time.
If there's a flyer, that means we've got to do a show.
I'm going back now, is it?
This film follows Susan as she attempts to conquer her anxiety and realise her one remaining ambition.
I've always wanted to perform in front of a live audience. Not stuck in a recording studio, not stuck out of the way, just that's where you should be.
If she can overcome her issues, a big world tour could follow.
Oh Lord, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Most artists suffer some kind of self-doubt. Susan's is just maybe more acute.
5 minutes till Susan Boyle. 5 minutes till Susan Boyle.
But for Susan, this journey represents a huge gamble.
Something I want to do for myself, not for other people. To prove to myself what I can do.
It's 4 weeks to go to the beginning of Susan's first ever live solo tour. Tickets have just gone on sale and have already been snapped up in their thousands. But despite her superstar status, Susan still lives in the same former council house she has called home her entire life.
Your tea's out.
It's a lovely day, the day.
That's nice, eh?
The forecast is 16 and sunny.
Have a good then, eh?
Right, let's make you glamorous. This'll be cold.
So it is. Ooh.
So how's your rehearsals for the tour going?
All right.
How many songs are you doing?
Well, it's over 25 anyway.
Oh, wow.
What does the tour mean? Is it quite an important step for you?
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also a bit apprehensive as well, because it's my first time. You want to try and get it right, you know, if you can do it. I'm sure I'll manage it somehow. Get through it somehow.
Because there's quite a few songs there that you haven't done before, is that right?
Well, I've done most of them at some stage before, it's just remembering them all. I'm sure I'll go over that. I think nerves are good in a way, but well, I won't know how I feel until the night, really. You know, it's the fairest thing to say. You don't know how you're going to feel until the night.
And that's in Venice as the kind of opening night?
That's right. Not be long now, eh?
There is freedom within, and there is freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup.
For Susan, this is a step into the unknown. She has never performed more than 2 tracks on stage and has never played with a live band.
Is this tour risky?
Yes, and that's the reason we haven't toured for 4 years since Susan arrived on the scene. I've always been concerned that whilst she's more than capable of standing on a TV stage and singing a song, entertaining an audience for 90 minutes or so is a completely different ballgame.
Hey now, don't dream it's over.
The show represents a gamble in more ways than one. Susan has suffered with acute anxiety and panic attacks her entire life, a problem that has always prevented her from touring.
Susan has been pushing me to go out and play shows, but I was always nervous that it might be just a bit too much. The build-up, all the anxiety that goes with it. I've never been entirely confident that she was going to be able to carry it off.
My anxiety comes from a sense of always striving to be accepted. That's a sense of being inferior. You know, I would say that was about 95% of the time. A sense of being inferior, not good enough.
To relieve some of the pressure, Susan is easing herself into the idea of touring slowly, with a series of small concerts in Scotland.
I don't want to make a mess of it. You know?
Of the tour?
I don't want to make a mess of anything. You know? A lot of people hide how they feel, I don't. Unfortunately.
Susan has been working intensively with the show's director, Andrew Panton.
Yeah, butterflies is definitely normal. If you weren't a little bit nervous, I'd be worried about it.
He's been brought on board to help her combat her anxiety.
So I thought tonight what we'd do is maybe run through some of the links in the show, just see where we're at with that. Maybe run through a couple of songs, maybe some of the songs that we haven't done for a while. Any songs tonight that you're even a little bit kind of, oh, let's concentrate on that. Okay? Yeah?
It's that old called love again.
We started working together about 18 months ago, and we just really get on. I love working with Susan. She talks about me a little bit like a little brother, and part of my job is to make her feel really relaxed and really safe so that she can make herself vulnerable enough to push herself out of her comfort zone. I mean, the material that we're working on is really challenging, emotionally and vocally.
Might as well give up that fight again.
The pressure this tour could place on Susan is a genuine concern.
And he's right again when he sings that sorry song.
This is the first time that Susan will have ever really done any more than about 2 or 3 songs back to back in a live context. So, yes, so this is quite full on. I think it's really exciting, but it's also, no one really knows how it's going to work out. Okay, so can we try that without the words, or?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, let's try it without.
Oh, Lord.
Do you want to try it without?
Not too confident. Not too confident at all.
Okay, so let's make this priority for learning. Okay, got to get these words off for tomorrow.
Okay, but
All right.
I'll be in tonight anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's going to be priority.
I'm very sorry about all this, Andrew.
It's okay. Have you been working on these?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah. Good, okay. So,
I shouldn't do this, I know, but never mind.
just have a wee look at them and we'll try it without, okay? Now forever,
deep in heart-wrung tears, I'll pledge thee.
warring sighs and hopes. Okay? Okay? That's it. No, it's nothing to do with nerves. Just not memorised it. That's not nerves.
I did. My nerves are going.
Okay, well, let's move on to another one. We'll come back to that. Okay? Yeah? Just have a breath. We'll come back to that one.
I can't do this.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yes, you can. Take a breath. You've done it. You've sung all these songs before. You've sung them brilliantly. Okay? We're now trying to move on to the next stage, which is singing them without the words. Okay?
Okay.
We'll take a little break first. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat, Suzanne. Have a seat. Sit. Have a seat. Yeah. Okay.
I'm more and more nervous. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing. It's gonna work. It's gonna work through it. Sorry.
I feel the failure.
No, I'm just telling you what you need to do. Okay, that's a different thing. So I can start the work that we need to do, but I can start it when you've learned the songs. The singing's great. I'm not worried about the singing at all. But now we've got to have that extra layer, which is the performance stuff. And you can't do that when you've got a bit of paper in your hand.
Are you worried about letting him down? Is that the kind of...
I'm worried about letting everybody down. Because people, they put a lot of work into this, you know. They've raised the expectations of what people want me to do. I don't want to go back into clubs and pubs and that. I just don't want that again.
I don't think anyone thinks you're going to do that, Susan. You're a big star.
Yeah, but I shouldn't behave like this, should I? Certain standards you've got to really put up with, aren't there? And then you upgrade my act a bit, I think.
And that's exactly what you're doing with this tour, though, isn't it?
I'm trying to.
Susan Boyle is one of the world's most successful recording artists. But despite having suffered from anxiety attacks her entire life, she is preparing to embark on her first ever series of live solo concerts, a testing ground for a potential world tour.
I'm feeling sexy and free, like glitters raining on me.
Today she is attending a far more low-key event, her niece's 25th wedding anniversary.
Susan, would it be alright for your wee cousins to get a picture with you?
Aye, on you go. When people ask me for photos, I find it a wee bit weird sometimes because some of them have known me for years. You know, I said, oh, just Susan, what do you want my photograph for? You know? But then I realised I must have taken on a whole new identity with them, you know? What do you tell me, get lost or anything like that? I'm quite a sociable lassie.
Hi. Hello, cheeky face. I like your frog.
Thank you.
There you
I
are.
saw you on Britain's Got Talent.
Did you like that?
You done very well.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for your compliments.
Susan isn't the only person affected by her fame.
It's quite life-changing. I used to be John Boyle, now I'm just Susan Boyle's brother. I'm that proud here I could burst, but I wouldn't tell her that.
Susan's friend Lorraine has been helping her since Britain's Got Talent and now works as her personal assistant.
I've known Susan since school, since we were primary school. She stood out and she was just in the background all the time. And the attentions that Susan got was for the wrong reasons. She did get bullied a lot at school. Mostly Susan had to run from secondary school every day, from the taunts and, you know, the bullies, you know, that got a kick out of putting somebody down, but already was very vulnerable.
Well, here it is, Linlithgow Loch. Have you never been here before, no?
No.
It's a nice place to come, you know.
Ever since Susan has been in the public eye, there have been a lot of stories about her erratic behaviour in the press.
I always felt misunderstood, yeah. I didn't really understand what was wrong with myself. I mean, I knew it was different, but I didn't really know what was wrong with myself.
Recently, Susan has been working with a psychiatrist to try to understand her behaviour.
The common myth, and certainly the one Susan believed, was that as a baby she'd been starved of oxygen at birth, and that had led to her being brain damaged, and that she had a below average IQ or potentially a learning disability. None of those are the case.
Dr. Mowat discovered that Susan's anxiety and emotional outbursts had another explanation. She has Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism.
Most people with Asperger's struggle with how to deal with emotions, whereas we're quite comfortable with emotion and dealing with emotion and handling emotion. People with Asperger's find it really difficult to express that emotion or even understand other people's expressions of emotion.
Can I get a picture?
Aye, of course you can.
Thank you.
A lot of people on the autistic spectrum have to learn the sort of social cues that perhaps me and you would just take for granted.
All right. Favourite last son, eh?
For example, standing too close to someone when you're speaking to them, or just being aware of facial expressions, body language, and other non-verbal cues.
Oh, darling, how you doing? Fine, thank you. And you? There's a little fella. Big girl. Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Hiya.
These communication issues can often be connected to high levels of anxiety.
When she is in social situations, because she finds that difficult, she will feel very anxious about that. That will cause her distress. That may lead to emotional outbursts. So, yeah, that is more than likely part of the Asperger's diagnosis.
I felt all my life I've been in a bubble. I felt all my life that I could never fully make any relationships because people picked me up wrong. All I needed was somebody just to say, Susan, I believe in you. Susan, I think you can do this. And what did I get in the very early days from other people? Well, Susan's not capable.
What did Dr. Mowat explain to you?
There's no evidence of brain damage, but I am okay. And I'm perfectly capable.
Despite the pressure, Dr. Mowat supports the idea of Susan going on tour.
It's important when someone has a diagnosis on the autistic spectrum that if they have a niche that they're particularly good at, that they pursue that. So I would absolutely encourage her in pursuing that because it does bring her a great deal of self-worth and really improves her esteem.
These dates that we are putting on probably wouldn't have happened had we not had the diagnosis. Susan will always be anxious, will always be nervous about anything. I don't think that has changed, but the fact that we know what the problem is or was has helped enormously just get things into perspective, not only for the people that work with her, but also, most importantly, for Susan herself.
Susan receives gifts from fans from all over the world. To many, she has proved an inspiration.
Wow.
That's nice. How do you feel about that?
The likeness is there.
What age is the guy?
He's about 18. And he was diagnosed with autistic spectrum disorder at age 4. They said, I've always believed that all of us, just like you, have something special to give. A way of making a contribution that matters. So there you are. That's what he's been saying. It's just a point. People may have problems, but they've got other things as well. And they've got a lot more to offer.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
There are only 2 weeks to go until the opening night of Susan's Scottish tour. And the pressure is building. In the past, Susan has only ever performed to a backing track. Today, she's having her first ever rehearsal with a live band.
A lot of these bands have played with very professional singers before, and the likes of me coming in for the very first time, I found it very daunting.
While the musicians take a break, Susan and Andrew run through some lyrics on their own. But it's clear the pressure of performing with the band has unnerved her.
You were going to have a look through Raise Me Up and Make Me Feel My Love, Hold Me, Thrill Me, River Deep Mountain High, and Perfect Cheer. Yeah? So tell me which one would you like to start with? Start with Perfect Cheer? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to keep these over here. They're here if you need them, okay? As a backup plan, all right? Okay? Or we can... You're doing a great job. You're doing great. It's a lot to take in, yeah? It's a lot to take in, and, you know, every day there's more people in here. You know, there's more things that are getting added into the equation for the show, and it's a lot to take in, yeah. But the most important thing is that you remember, all you have to think about is just being on the mic, and that's your job. I think most artists suffer some kind of self-doubt. Am I good enough? Does anyone want to hear me, see me, whatever? That's a really natural thing. Susan's is just maybe more acute. If she feels like she's going to cry, maybe she just will cry, and maybe some people would filter that or censor themselves. So there's a real honesty about the way she expresses her anxiety and her self-doubt.
That's all I ask.
I think anyone feel nervous, but obviously we're also dealing with her diagnosis as well. So are there times when you think we should just stop, or do you think, okay, the show's got to go on, we've got to keep going? I mean, how do you know?
I always ask her. Always ask her. I try to put her always in the driving seat.
Share with me one love, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow you.
For the small amount of time that Susan spends anxious or upset, there's so much more time when she's behind the mic, sounding fantastic when she's singing. That reminds you that she really is very good at what she does. And she's working through some incredible challenges that I don't think anybody on the team can. We can imagine what it might be like. We really don't know what it is like. So I think there's just an incredible amount of respect in the room and admiration for what she's doing.
Love me, that's all I ask of you.
If Susan's having a bad day, of course, it adds a little bit of uncertainty because we've been talking about the tour for a long time. We've been gently starting to rehearse it over maybe 2 to 3 months. 2 weeks, that sounds quite soon. If it's your tour with your name on the poster, that sounds really soon.
With 5 days to go until her first ever concert.
If there's a flyer, that means we've got to do a show.
I'm going back now, is it?
Susan is getting ready for a trial run. Tonight, she will perform the show in its entirety to a small invited audience for the very first time.
I know, obviously, if there was 2,000 of you, it's much easier to do things. What I would say is, be brave, give as much back as you possibly can, because that will really help Susan. If she's going to get caught out by things, I want her to get caught out now.
For Susan, it's a crucial moment. It's her last chance to get it right before the concert.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the show. I find singing a lot easier than actually talking to an audience. I'm asked to speak to an audience for the very first time, so I'm going to find that more nerve-wracking than actually singing. I'm really excited tonight because this is my very first tour with my very own show. Isn't it great?
Tonight I'd like to sing for you some songs, some you'll know, some you maybe won't know. So I hope tonight to take you on the incredible journey. Would you like that? Yeah! So
Really fantastic.
I made a couple of mistakes, so.
Oh, that's fine. That's part of the fun. Susan was fantastic. She really relaxed into it. I think it really helps having an audience, and I don't think we could have asked for much better from our final studio run. I could not be more pleased. We've got the next step now, though. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I'm going to get you a kiss. Come here a minute. You should deserve
I know, you did brilliant. You did absolutely great.
You're a wee honey, so yeah.
Well done, well done.
Where's that fish supper?
Oh, we're going for a fish supper.
Let's go for a fish supper, come on. Let's murder a fish. Yeah, nice to meet you, son. What's your name? Fraser. No problem.
Although Susan could have her stage dresses specially made for her by a top couture house, she has instead chosen to shop in an ordinary department store.
There's your dress, Susan.
That's the one I had
That's
before.
the one you done with Donny Osmond.
That's right, exactly the same.
What's the most extravagant thing you've ever bought?
Most extravagant thing I've ever bought? Oh God, probably a fur coat. And that was an invitation.
You have to get your size. That's an 18 suit.
Wreck the joint.
That's a superstar knocked out. Oh, that's lovely.
That's beautiful.
Just gives it that wee bit.
How you can cry me a river.
Oh, Susan. That's lovely. Let me see, turn round.
A quick flash.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands on Susan Boyle.
Everybody likes a bit of glamour and a bit of glitz, a bit of luxury. You know, everybody likes that. When you've not had it for a few years and then suddenly it's there, you say to yourself, wow, this is brilliant. But there's a wee voice saying, watch what you're doing as well.
Susan doesn't enjoy it because she gets embarrassed.
Why?
She always thinks she doesn't deserve it, you know.
Is that true, Susan?
That's true, actually, yeah.
There you go.
Not used to having a lot, that's what it is.
Susan lives in fear of going back to the way she used to live. And that'll never happen.
Just a perfect day.
There, madame.
Drink sangria in the park. Then later, when it gets dark, we go home.
It's Susan's last night at home before she travels to Inverness for the opening concert.
Right. These shoes. I'm glad that Susan's in a good place and she's looking forward to this because it will make a difference. You know, her biggest worry was letting everyone down. I think after Thursday's performance, it was a bit of relief because it was a wee bit of belief came in there.
I was just reflecting the other day there, just wondering what my mother and father would have thought of all this, you know.
Do you think they'd wonder whether it was a good thing for you or not to kind of be put under this pressure?
Well, I think we've tended to be a bit overprotective, you know. Again, because of what other people had told them. That people thought I had brain damage. People thought I couldn't do much. You know, and I think they tended to be a bit overprotective.
The day of Susan's first ever live show has arrived. Tickets for tonight's concert sold out within 24 hours, and people have travelled from far and wide in order to be here. But back at the hotel, tensions are running high, and Susan's mood is deteriorating.
Hi, Susan. Wait a minute, does this have to be here all the time? It can be difficult. I had a job trying to keep calm there. Do you know that?
Right. Do you want to... Should we get set up here then? Is that right?
Because I had a hell of a job to try and keep calm there.
Oh no. Just stand here, okay? Good. Just, like, get your weight on both feet. So just bring them in a little bit, just shoulder width apart. Yeah, that's it. Good. Just nice and relaxed.
For Susan, the idea of touring solo was always challenging.
And out. 2, 3.
Her anxiety attacks were always likely to present a problem.
During the night, she was up, pacing up and down and talking. And, you know, you could see that the pressure's there.
Yeah. You start with your feet, you scrunch them up, and then you let them go. And as you release that, try and release your back into the floor if you can.
Does this usually happen then before kind of big shows? She gets restless?
Uh-huh. And it's one thing, she needs to have her sleep.
Okay, release that. And across your chest. Let that go and let your shoulder blades melt into the floor.
Because sometimes the emotions get pent up inside and I can't get them out. And that can lead to a lot of frustration.
Months of planning and countless hours of rehearsals have got Susan to this point.
It's really good, Susan.
But tonight, with the prospect of a world tour hanging in the balance, she will discover if she's able to cope with the pressure. Susan Boyle is about to take the stage for her first ever performance of her first ever live tour. But the pressure has been building, and she's been struggling to cope.
I think you need to just be maybe sitting in your dressing room or just, you know, just having some calm time. Because nobody needs Susan right now. This is your time for the show.
I tell you, I'm bouncing off that wall.
Well.
We started talking about this show probably about a year ago, and it just seems like it's come round really, really fast, and just the journey that Susan's been on to get here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 5-minute call. 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
You ready? Wow! All right, Andrew?
Yeah. Good.
The show's exciting because it's breaking new ground. I've never done live work before. It's something I want to do for myself, not for other people. It's for myself, to prove to myself what I can do.
Have a great show, all right? You're going to be fantastic. All right, I'll see you after.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Susan Boyle in concert. Put your hands together and welcome the fabulous Susan Boyle!
Sometimes I wonder where I've been, who I am, do I fit in? Make believing it's hard alone out here on my own. On my
first numbers are seamless. But for Susan, talking to an audience is an even greater challenge.
Hello, Inverness. Welcome to the show. I'm really excited about being here this evening, as it's my very first show in my very first tour. You take this off, it's a bit hot.
By the interval, nerves are beginning to calm, and backstage, the team are finally able to relax.
Oh, Susan, I was crying.
Very smooth, they went very smooth.
Oh, it was amazing. And even your talking, you were so relaxed.
I couldn't be happier. I don't think we get that. I didn't think we get to this level of.
I've done Wembley Stadium with Cam, with George, and he said, we both said, I was more nervous tonight than I was at Wembley bloody Stadium.
Susan has successfully completed her first ever show. Backstage, the mood is euphoric.
Woo! I want some more!
Do you want some more?
Is that the wee pal?
Oh, here's your pal.
I just saw the show. It was really good. Do you know anything about it?
Do you think that wee lassie's going to go places, Andrew?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah. Brilliant.
4 years ago, we saw her start this journey, right? Tonight, she arrived. She is that part of every one of us that has been beaten down, and she's let nobody stop her. And you just got to applaud that.
After completing her first solo concert in Inverness, Susan hit the road, slowly perfecting her act.
Oh, look who's here, Susan.
Is it good for me? It's definitely good for me.
It's so nice to see her doing what she does brilliantly and just excelling herself. Absolutely loved it. She was amazing.
She completed 6 further dates across her native Scotland to rapturous acclaim. 4 months later, a new phase of Susan's career is about to begin. Having proved she can cope with touring, Susan is now moving to the next level.
Welcome, Susan!
What do you think about this welcome that everybody's giving you?
I think it's fun, Dobby Dozy!
In just a few hours' time, she will perform in front of 17,000 Americans in a huge arena.
That's pretty decent of you.
Susan inspires me for the perseverance that she has shown. She never gave up.
She's got it. She's got it. And I think it's awesome that she's finally doing what she loves.
It is the culmination of a long and often trying journey.
Performing in Scotland was a challenge. It's been difficult. I've overcome that challenge. It's making me more confident, growing in confidence all the time, and it's making me look forward to doing more later on. I'll play to wider audiences.
As Susan prepares to take the stage, her manager Andy Stevens can reflect on what she has achieved.
It's surpassed my wildest dreams. Where we were at a year ago, with all the doubt about whether she could get on a stage and entertain an audience. But we needed to, through the Scottish experience, to find out whether Susan could actually hold an audience's attention. And she passed that with flying colours, and every knockback that Susan gets, she seems to get around it, get over it, whatever. I had the confidence now to know that we could take her around the world, which is something 4 or 5 years ago and probably Susan could only have dreamt about. So I'm absolutely delighted, could not be happier.
I feel a bit nervous, but I can't wait to get out there and show them what I can do.
Second 5 minutes till Susan Boyle. 5 minutes till Susan Boyle.
How am I feeling? Okay, no problem.
Feeling all set?
In there for the fight, you know?
Yeah.
In there for the kill.
Can you imagine 6 or 7 months ago getting ready to go into this kind of size of stage?
Going in.
I couldn't imagine it at all.
No?
And run.
Yeah.
12 months ago, Susan set out to prove that she could cope with the intense pressure of live touring and realise her dreams of performing solo around the world. That dream is about to become a reality.
Thank you, History.
Troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am here, sitting here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up till I can stand on mountains.
It's indescribable, you know, because it's my dream coming true. It's me finally becoming that professional singer. It's me finally becoming a performer in my own right.
Does it feel good?
It feels bloody fantastic. There's a plan to go to Australia, possibly Asia, so I'll bring it on.
You're going to take over the world?
Not quite, but I'll try.